What's up, y'all? This is your girl Tay by Faith. Tay by what? You know, I had to do it right. What's up, y'all? This is your girl Tay by what? Tay by Tay by Faith. And here we are, back at it again with another one. And so, lately I have been reading in Job. Yeah, so I've been reading in Job, and it has been quite encouraging. Um, and it's encouraging but also discouraging in ways because as a Christian I know that it is we get some of the toughest battles to fight, uh, especially when it comes to our identity and with the world and dealing with the world in some form or fashion in some way. So yeah, and reading in Job, um there was three things I took from Job, and let me grab it real quick. It was like very powerful what was given to me. Okay, I guess let me see. So I found it, and there was three things that I took from Job. What I took from Job was Job, number one, Job was sacrificing for his children's sins, and that left no room for his children to make the decision to be closer to God. Two, he was taking control of the situation. And three, he was doing what he thought was right. And so I'm going to start off with, wronging my rights. I always want to try to relate it to myself because I know I am flawed too. This is not something to be preached about, but is to be talked about. That's what the whole Tay by Faith and Sermons in the Snap movement is. Okay, so wronging my rights. Let me just start with this coronavirus. I'm so grateful for it because it allowed time, space, and distance to get away from religion because I was getting so close into church. Not so close in the church, but like I was going to church like religiously, routinely, and it was becoming religiously, and I wasn't really going, like I was going for the word, don't get me wrong, but then like some just started eating me up and I just felt like I didn't want to be there anymore, and I was very close to already just stepping out of church, and not to just quit church, but to step out of church for a minute because I was just like so bothered by it. But what stopped me from completely stepping out of church was being away from church and then being susceptible to my worldly behavior that I hadn't fully got over, like my flesh. And I didn't want to become distracted by what I know that I like to do with my flesh. I'm very prideful at times, and I didn't want to lose focus of my purpose. And so I was trying to wrong my rights. And to be honest, it was just doing nothing but eat me up because in the midst of all of that, what I should have been doing was getting closer to God. And for some reason, I just wasn't allowing myself to find him. And that's what I felt like I could relate to when Job was sitting there sacrificing for his kids. Like, you sitting here trying to do something for your kids to be, good with God, but that's not working. It's not working. Burning sacrifices, giving tithes and things like that. I mean, the word says to give your tithes, you know what I'm saying? But what I'm saying is like to be burning offerings and doing it for just trying to get it right, but it's all wrong. That's what I'm getting at, and I'm glad that this has happened because it has allowed God to assess me in this process and get me, I mean, I was already close with God, but to really be able to like get closer with him. So I'm gonna go into sacrificing for the price of others, which was him taking control of the situation. Okay, so I have this. I wrote down, we are, because I really don't want nobody to be offended when I say this. When I say we're not Jesus, okay? We are man here on the flesh, on this earth. We're man. We're not Jesus. But, however, we're in the making and in the liking of being like Jesus. When people see us, they should see Jesus. You know what I'm saying? So, because it's a spiritual thing. It's not that, there was something that was related to me one day, and I was like, God, there's a lot of people who don't believe in you. And it was revelated to me that people see God all the time. They do. They see God when you see these miracles, people coming for your help. Miracles are being performed through people, like, straight up. And you were telling me that you don't see God. Like, that's God all up in that. That's another thing for another time. But when I'm talking about sacrificing for the price of others, like, Jesus came down, he paid the ultimate sacrifice. And it was also stated by Jesus, when people don't want to receive the word, shake the dust off your feet. You got to let it go. Like, you're not here to argue or try to take control of a situation to make somebody believe something they don't want to believe. That's fine. That's actually what's great about God, because you have the power of free will, like, which is dope. And what was also given to me too was, like, it was sacrifice without the purpose. It was sacrifice without purpose. And yeah, although yes, it was purpose, but continuously his children continue to have these parties, be sinful. And although he's trying to correct these wrongs, it's like when somebody keeps doing something and at some point it just wears off. Like, it's intentionally done. Like, if somebody continuously, you know what, I ain't gonna go there today, but we'll say, if somebody continuously cheats on you, or if somebody continuously hits you, yeah, the Bible says forgive your brother, 77 times. But what I'm saying is if it's done without purpose, the sacrifices that are done without purpose are definitely a waste of time. Don't waste your time trying to make other people believe what you already know. And this was also another thing I wrote down, was that when we sacrifice on behalf of others, we step in and don't allow God to step in. That part. I'm gonna leave it at that. Alrighty. So, lastly, what I recognize is that sometime, maybe even all the time, I just want people to believe in God as much as I do, through my trials, through things I've been through, my flesh, and testimonies. Like it is said in the Bible, and it's going to pop up, that we get people closer through our testimonies. And being a Christian, that doesn't mean that we use our belief to hold above somebody else. That doesn't make me any better than you. I'm still flawed. Like, still flawed and still working on it. And so that's why it kind of bugs me when people be like, oh, well, you're a Christian. And it's like, yeah, but at the same time, don't act like listen, it's been about 3 years. Really, last year I got baptized. I got baptized in 2019. And so this year it's like, it's been like a full year and some change. But I've always believed in God. If there's anybody who's like, who knows me, they know that I've always believed in God. And when they say you're a Christian, like, yo, straight up right now, I'm still walking this out. Like, still walking this out. But that doesn't give me any exceptions to the rules. Like, you know, when you see me, you should see God. And you should see Jesus, you know. Jesus walks, y'all. So yeah, nothing wrong with sacrificing for the Lord, but you have to allow God to move in others' lives. Like, you have to, like, I have to allow that. Like, there's only so much I can say to get people closer to God, and then I just have to let God do the rest. And that's it. So yeah, y'all, this is your girl, Tay by Faith. I hope that this word helps somebody today as much as it has helped me reading through Job. Please read Job. It is quite a lot to take in when you read Job. And I say that because, like, it's relatable. Like, when reading Job and then seeing, like, how, you know, he lost everything, and then, like, his health, and he's sitting there scraping sores off of his body with pottery, like with broken pieces of pottery. He's scrubbing sores off of his body. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's like, you could see that, and if you could feel that, my God, like, you know. And it's just really powerful to read, because although Job doesn't speak against God, he, you know, speaks on lack of understanding. And that's what it is. That's how I know I feel when I'm going through things, and it's like, you don't understand, you don't get it. There's a time and a season for everything. And that's a Bible verse too. And that's what I love about reading the Bible too, because everything comes together. So anyways, yeah, y'all, I'm finished. But this is your girl, Tay by Faith, and I hope y'all have a blessed day. We out.
Okay, yeah, you got some problems. You can't keep blaming your mama. Do the baby wanna